Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the story of a very special landmark in Jerusalem and the incredible woman who founded the first ever Palestinian Catholic order. It's a story of incredible faith, a serious struggle, and a legacy that was actually kept secret for almost 100 years. So let's get right into it. Picture this. On Agron Street, there's this beautiful, historic monastery. But for decades, the real story of its founder, the woman whose vision made it all happen, was known only by a handful of people. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that secret. First up, let's just take a look at the monastery as it is today. You know, it's so much more than just a building. It's a living, breathing center for worship, for charity, and for history, right in one of the most important cities in the world. This place is the headquarters of the Rosary Sisters, and that entrance gate tells you a lot right away. It's got this huge rosary shaped like an M for Mary, which is a direct nod to how they got started. But this isn't just a place for prayer. It's really the hub of their humanitarian work, running an orphanage and hosting visitors. It just shows you how deeply connected they've been to the Jerusalem community right from the start.
Okay, so to really get this place, we have to rewind the clock. We're going back to the 19th century to meet a young Palestinian girl who had a calling that was powerful and, for the time, pretty controversial.
Her birth name was Sultana, but the world would come to know her as Marie Alphonsine. She's one of the very first Palestinian nuns to be canonized as a saint by the Catholic Church, and her whole journey kicks off right there, in Jerusalem.
You could tell she was dedicated from a super young age. I mean, can you imagine? At just 15 years old, she's taking her vows on Golgotha in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. But it was this pivotal vision she had in 1874 when she was a teacher in Bethlehem that really set her on this extraordinary and, as you'll see, incredibly difficult path.
Now, according to her own diary, this wasn't just some vague idea or a dream. It was a direct command from Mary, the mother of Jesus. And this one instruction would shape the entire rest of her life, and it would test her faith in ways she probably never imagined.
But here's the thing. Trying to fulfill a divine vision as a woman in the 19th century church, that was anything but simple. She ran into these huge institutional walls that, honestly, would have stopped most people right in their tracks. Just look at this journey she was forced to take. She couldn't do it on her own. She had to find a male priest to be her patron. Then, after getting the first group together, she had to fight for 3 years just to get permission from the Vatican to leave her old order. And here's the final unbelievable twist. After all of that, she was forbidden from ever leading the very order she was told by heaven to create.
So this is the really crucial point. To get the whole thing approved by the church authorities, the order was presented as if it was all the idea of priest Yusef Tanus. Her role as the founder? It was basically erased from the official story. And it stayed that way until 1968, almost a century. And yet, and this is what's so amazing, despite all the struggles, despite her story being hidden, her mission just took off. The little seed she planted in secret grew into this incredible legacy of service that spread way beyond Jerusalem. The growth is just amazing to see. From that tiny, dedicated group of 7 young women in the Old City, the Rosary Sisters have grown to over 200 nuns. And they're all Arab women, serving communities in Syria, Lebanon, Kuwait, the UAE, carrying her original vision all across the region. From day one, Marie Alphonsine's vision was all about practical, on-the-ground care. The order she founded wasn't just for prayer, it was for action. And as you can see here, their work is hugely focused on building schools and orphanages, creating safe places and educational opportunities for the most vulnerable people. That hands-on humanitarian mission is still the heart of who they are today. But the story doesn't stop there, not even close. Her path to actually becoming an official saint required proof of miracles. And the stories that came to light, well, they're truly extraordinary. This is one of the most famous events connected to her. So imagine this scene. A schoolgirl is drawing water from a deep well. She slips and falls in, losing consciousness almost immediately. Help comes running, but by the time they can lower a rope, it just seems hopeless. The girl isn't responding. She's at the bottom of this dark well. What happens next would become a huge part of her legacy. Instead of panicking, Marie Alphonsine, who happened to be visiting the school that day, did something based purely on faith. She took off her own rosary, the symbol of her order, and just threw it into the darkness, praying with everything she had.
And in that moment, something that seemed impossible happened. The girl grabbed the rope. When they pulled her out of the well, she was alive, and around her neck was Marie Alphonsine's rosary. This incredible event just electrified the community, and it would later become key evidence presented to the Vatican for her sainthood.
So, after decades of the Rosary Sisters working to promote her cause and verify miracles just like that one, the Catholic Church made it official. She was beatified in 2009, and then, in a huge ceremony in Rome, she was finally canonized as a saint in 2015. And that brings us right back to where we started, to that monastery in Jerusalem, which is now not just the headquarters of her order, but the final resting place of a saint. After she was canonized, her remains were brought home, you could say. They're on display today in the monastery's prayer hall, creating this powerful, visible link between her life, her struggles, and the living, breathing legacy she left for the world. I mean, what a story. From a secret founder whose role was completely hidden for a century to a celebrated saint. The story of Marie Alphonsine is just this powerful example of faith and pure perseverance. It reminds us that behind these big institutions, there are often these quiet, determined people. And it leaves you with the question, right? What is the true, lasting impact of a single, dedicated life?